Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. Mwah. Out here on another hike today. It's gorgeous. We got Mia with us.
Mia, say hi. This is our daughter's rescue.
Yeah,
And
she's a beautiful dog.
She is sweet as pie.
Lots of energy. More energy than us climbing this mountain. But anyway, we want to talk a little bit about communication in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've had some friends through the years and had a couple we talked to recently that seems like they don't want to, someone didn't want to rock the boat and bring something up, or someone didn't know something that they were looking for. And Karen and I were just chatting on the way up here, like what is it when someone can't have a frank conversation with their significant other, whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband,
couples,
wife?
right?
Exactly right. I mean, what do you think that is? It doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't make sense. And if you feel that insecurity, and you really have to be honest with yourself, if you're afraid to bring up certain topics because you feel that you're just too insecure to bring them up, there's an issue and a problem in the relationship. So, for example, if you're in a very serious long-term relationship and you've not discussed marriage, if that's important to you, and you're afraid to talk about it, that's a problem. If you're in a long-term relationship and you are leaning towards marriage and you've not discussed the topic of wanting kids or not wanting kids, that's a problem. These are really important issues to know about before, the relationship continues on, because these are core to people's values and desires. I mean, I know for me, I always knew that I wanted to be a mom. I had that urge, that mom urge. And Jeffrey and I were on our third date, and I remember we were having a picnic and he was asking me about my job. I had a pretty sweet job, and I was making, fairly good money as well. And he was, asking me about it and saying, wow, that's really impressive. And I said, yeah, it's a great job, but, that's not my plan. My plan is, for my future to have a family, and I want to be at home with my kids. And I just laid it right out there. And I was so secure in myself and in who I am that it didn't matter if I laid it out there and he disagreed with me or that was an issue for him. It's really important to be true to yourself, don't you think?
Well, absolutely. So I know people are listening. There are two people coming together, two different individuals, but you need to start acting as one. So all the years with Karen, sometimes maybe it might have been tougher on her. We're in the middle of a business situation or something like that. I always said, I'm talking to you like I'm talking to myself. And, I love her more than anybody on the planet. But, we're hard on ourselves. But my point always was, I always had this feeling that we were one. So if you can't have that conversation with the other person, like if I couldn't bring something out, I can't even remember a time when I couldn't do that. We were talking about on the way up.
Yeah.
In any relationship, I always felt like I could talk about anything.
Right.
If you're in a relationship where you have to walk on eggshells and you're worried about bringing something up, I mean, that is a problem.
It is.
Right?
I mean, I know some couples that are worried about talking about things that aren't even important, where, one of them won't even ask the other one what the plans are, for 2 weeks out or whatever, because he or she doesn't want to, rock the boat, so to speak, or, put any confinement on the other person. That's not a relationship. That's two people living together separate lives, and it's really, really important to be secure in yourself, so much so that you can ask and or tell the other person anything. Now, the only qualifier, Mia, the only qualifier I'm going to put in there is we never want to hurt our partner's feelings,
no, right?
Right? So,
I'm glad you brought that up, because we're not talking about, those types of things. Can't think of an example, but something that was maybe there's an issue that you're working on. and you don't want to bring it up again because you're trying to work on it and trying to get past it.
Exactly.
I mean, there are certain things like that. We're talking about, this is like if you're dating and you've been dating a while and you want to get married, you want to have kids. You're talking about
Right.
weekend events. You're talking about, where we're going to go on vacation,
Right.
all of that kind of stuff. That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. But also, just to clarify, this goes for married people too, because I know a lot of married people, and they don't share everything. And I think if it's important to you, it's worth sharing. And again, here's an example of, and I know that you, I don't want to say that you didn't care, but you would never say anything to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant with our first daughter, I didn't put on much weight because I didn't feel well during the pregnancy. And I kept waiting for that to happen with the second pregnancy, and it never did. So my weight went way up high. And there wasn't a day in that almost 10 months, because she just didn't want to be born, that you ever said anything to me that made me feel, I didn't need you to say anything because I could see the scale. But the point is that I know couples where one has said, you're really putting on the pounds, especially when you're pregnant. That would be something that
Those
you
are
don't
things
want
that
to
probably
share.
not a good idea.
Don't want to share that.
First of all, just for the record, I thought you were beautiful all the way through.
You
I mean,
did,
it's a beautiful process.
thank
So
you. Thank
it's
you
like
for that.
I never thought that, and I would never say that if I did, obviously. So yeah, that's a good clarification.
Exactly.
So we're talking about just stuff in general. So
Simple stuff.
I guess to wrap this up, people should just feel comfortable, and this is like significant others. This could be just really good friends too. I mean, you should be able to talk to when I say significant other, it's somebody who's important in your life. You should be able to talk to them. If you have to walk on eggshells around a person, and I'm not talking about somebody's mad about something and it's just, it's a couple days where somebody's mad. This is an ongoing basis. You can't have a conversation. You need to work on that, right?
Absolutely. You need to be able to feel comfortable talking about anything that's on your mind. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your partner about anything that's on your mind, and or asking him or her about any topic that's on your mind, then there is a problem. And the problem stems with you. It's not with the other person. It's with you and your insecurity or lack of self-worth to know that you deserve to be able to talk about anything that you want to. So if that is the case, take some steps back and check out the videos on self-love, because it's so important to be there in every instance, but especially in a relationship with somebody else, because the only thing that can happen in a relationship when you're lacking is going to be more lack, and that's just not good in a relationship. So if you've got overflowing self-love, that relationship is going to flourish, and that's really what we want for everyone. That's why we do these videos.
Yep. Yeah.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from Copper Mountain, the mountain.
I'll see you guys, and give us a thumbs up and click off if you haven't subscribed. Give you a little scan here. It's a pretty beautiful day.
It's gorgeous.
There's a lift going up.